Hi everyone, my name's Pieta Valentine. I've written 2 books, The Resident's Voice and The Resident's Rise, both from a dementia unit. Today's session is on adopting physio techniques in a dementia unit. Very important and very helpful because physio is all about motivating, encouraging, moving the person forward. If not rehabilitation, then at least to enabling them to manage in the best way that they can. So physios don't medicate. We don't have access to ECGs or heart monitors or drips or drugs or dressings or anything. It's all muscles, joints and motivation basically. So we do have tricks with mobilizing joints and releasing muscles, but we won't go into that today. But the motivational aspect I'm going to go through today with you to be able to help your granny or your relative in the dementia unit. So let's start with the morning cares. Okay, we know that in most dementia units up to, the carer is often looking after up to 9 residents. Such a big schedule. So often if you want to take your mother out, for a walk or a special lunch or something and she hasn't been showered, chances are you might have to help with the dressing and cares. If she goes out overnight, of course you'll be helping, and indeed before she came into the unit you were probably helping with some of the cares anyway. So let's start with that. So for example, if your mother, if the person is lying down on the bed and they need to lift their leg to put their trousers on, for example, don't just lift their leg and put the leg in the trousers. Ask your mother, ask the person, come on mum, lift your leg. And if they go, oh, never mind, lift, even if they can only lift, take half the weight, with their quadriceps, isn't it, and their hip flexors, they have to, it's actually quite an effort to lift a whole leg, actually, to be honest, as you get older, because the quadriceps muscle at the front of the leg, deteriorates really quickly, sometimes 3% a year, especially if they're not exercising. So anyway, just say, look, come on, mum, help me put your leg into the trousers. I'll do half the work, you do half the work, but I want you to make an effort with this. And then she'll, pull herself together and show her how to lift a leg. Lift the leg for her, one, the first occasion, and then ask her to do that a few times maybe. That's a good idea. Get her to do the exercise of lifting the leg up and down, just the straight leg up and down from the bed. And that will work her flexors and her quadriceps and increase strength in the leg, so that when you ask her to put her leg in the trousers and help you, she actually can. Not only will the strength improve, albeit slowly because she's, no doubt older, but at least the muscle functioning, is cognitively set when you do the exercises over and over. Practice makes perfect and all that. So that's putting the leg in the trousers. Same with putting on shoes. Come on mum, if you can just, lift your foot, and that's actually using quadriceps muscle. Same thing again. Lift your foot, come on, we've practiced this, and then you can ask her to maybe do a few exercises to help with putting on shoes. So if she's sitting on the bed like so, and say this is her, so this is her thigh, that's her calf, and this is the foot. So just get her to do, this isn't a very good example, but anyway, I'll try my best. So just get her to lift her foot. So this arm here is the calf. So lift the foot, and she's sitting here, Granny's sitting here, and she just lifts the foot a few times, say 5-10 times, up and down, even if it only goes to 45 degrees. So this way she's getting the strength going in her quadriceps. Same as on the bed when the whole leg's down and Granny's here and she's lifting the whole leg up a few times to strengthen the quadriceps again. Actually, the quadriceps are a really important muscle for being in a dementia unit, to be able to stay in a dementia unit. You need to be able to get off the bed independently, off the toilet independently, sit and stand independently. And it's all down to the quadriceps, mainly down to the quadriceps. And if they weaken and the person can't do those activities and they're not independent, then they will have to go on to further care at another facility, such as a hospital or D6, higher level dementia care. So keeping the legs strong, if you can just do that, if you can just get them to do their quadriceps exercises, lifting the leg or lifting their foot when they're sitting down. And these are the exercises that are often done by the activity coordinator in the unit, often exercises in New Zealand anyway. And dementia units are up to 2 lots of exercises every day. It's a lot. And lots of quadriceps exercises in them. So encouraging your mother to go to those and participate, you can go along with her, is a very good idea. So this is just one lot of exercises, physio exercises that you can do with your mother to keep her up and running. Now, if you find that you go in one day and she's saying, oh, I'm too tired, I'm exhausted, I can't lift my leg, I can't lift my foot, I can't do anything, just try and, go through the reasons as to why that might be. Just ask her anyway, well, why are you so tired, exhausted? You can see it probably, no doubt, by her expression and physical, sort of shrinking, downcastness. But you can say, okay, so you can ask her, at least try and ask, why are you tired, Mum? And she might say, oh, I didn't sleep well last night. Now, you can ask her again, why didn't you sleep well? You might be lucky to get an answer from that, but she might say cold. So that's good. You can find, if she's cold, she's not sleeping, she's exhausted, then the solution is bring in a duvet and a heater. That solves that. So that's a simple equation and a common one. Another one might be that she's not sleeping because she's depressed or anxious. And for that, of course, we know the wonderful walking is the solution for so many states of mind, especially, all of the, depression, anxiety, anger, it helps a lot. So some good, especially if the person's anxious, some good long walks, just really settles the physical system down, the mental system, the mental anxiety down. It gives endorphins and serotonin and all that flooding positive, chemicals. It's so beneficial. Walking is so helpful. So with all of those emotional states, whether it's stressed or depressed or angry at the lower levels, because you can't take someone that's really angry out because they might not want to get back in again, of course, and that's a dilemma in itself. So the walking, we know ourselves, if we exercise, if we go for a good long beach walk that night, you'll have a good night's sleep. If you haven't exercised for a few days, often it's difficult to sleep. Your system's hyped up, it's not relaxed from all that beautiful exercise. Or the other thing can be medication, side effects from medication. So if you've tried the walking, if you've got the room warm, if she's comfortable and you can't find another reason as to why she's not sleeping, you can, at the doctor's meetings, which are often every 3 months, just ask there, look, say, Mum's not sleeping. She's always been a good sleeper, if she has, and I think it might be the medication, or can we look at the medication, or, try and find out why it is she's not able to sleep. Because if you're exhausted the next day in a dementia unit, it's really stressful, because there's a whole routine of breakfast, lunch and dinner, which you're expected to be at. It's not like you can sleep all day like you might at home. It's quite regimented, a dementia unit, and it can be hard to adjust to, especially when you first go in. And then if you're exhausted into the bargain, it's terrible, because, you can't, wake up, you can't communicate, you can't have, your orientation's gone because you're exhausted anyway, you feel, and we all feel unsettled when we haven't had a good night's sleep. It's hard to function and manage, let alone do our best. So work all that out, the sleeping patterns, get the walking going. And if Mum says to you, oh, dear, I'm not up to it, I don't feel like walking today, encourage her, encourage her. So, look, Mum, we're all making an effort for you to be able to settle in here. We know it's difficult for you, But, you know, a good walk outside will make you feel so much better. You know, you'll get a better sleep. Oh, okay, all right, dear. Yes, yes, I understand. I'll go then. You know, encourage, you know, motivate, encourage, we in physio we say, you know, move it, whatever. I mean, you don't have to go to that degree with your relative, but the whole process is to move it, actually. I mean, we have to keep moving. Everyone has to keep moving, especially people in dementia units. If they don't keep moving, it's the whole, you know, use it or lose it, mentally, intellectually, physically, whateverly. You have to keep going. And so when you come to visit and you can take your parent out, get them to make the most of that opportunity, not to let it go, because, you know, if the person gets into the habit of saying no, oh no, don't feel like walking, then people will give up, won't they? You know, making an effort, and then it's not a good, you know, future quality of life for that person at all to be incarcerated, you know, 24/7 without getting out. So all these motivation techniques, I mean, you'll know ways and find ways of being able to work it out as well, but motivating, encouraging, then, you know, praising them for their efforts, of course, when they've done the walk and you've had a lovely, oh, that was great, Mum, you know, you walked well, we went for, you know, 200 metres in the rose garden, and lovely to wave to the people on the way, and, you know, the birds are out and the spring flowers, whatever, the roses, you know, talk about it, encourage her, praise her for her efforts and how well she's doing. And when Mum comes back, of course, then she's got the news to tell the other ladies, yes, it is nice outside, and this is my lovely daughter, and, you know, we've seen the rose garden, and, you know, all perky now. So it only takes really those walks, just 10, 20, 30 minutes, have a little seat on the, you know, by the rose garden, under the shady canopy, if there is one, hopefully, you know, go to the veggie garden if she likes vegetables, if there's vegetables there. Hopefully the caterpillars haven't eaten it all up, or the white moths like is happening here at my place. But there's always things of interest everywhere, isn't there? You know, that you can just make the most of. And, you know, some ladies, to be honest, you know, and men, or I know ladies, they actually like looking at cars out the window, you know. They take a real interest in that, like the colour of the cars, the make of the cars, whether the car's parked there or not parked there, who's in the car, when they're coming back to the car. I mean, you know, it may not be everyone's interest, but some people really like looking at cars. So if your mother or father is like that, then, you know, tune into that and observe all the trucks, and the yellow truck and the white car, and then that's the car that you used to have, Honda Civic, whatever year model it was. Oh, yes, I did, and I did love that car. It was so good. It's good conversational patter, isn't it? So this is how you can use all these motivational exercise physio techniques to help your mother or father in a dementia unit. Now, if they do have trouble with walking, I don't mean just being depressed or anxious, but if they have like what we call a festinating gait, which, you know, the stride is of normal length to start with, and then it starts getting quicker and quicker. That is a very common symptom with Parkinson's, and sometimes medication like haloperidol can give these Parkinson symptoms, or other medication as well. So if that's the case, that's a whole different ball game. You need to be by the person when you take them out, because their balance reactions won't be as good, because they've got, you know, that festinating gait, and the Parkinson's doesn't give them, you know, Parkinson's reduces balance and the ability to, you know, move quickly and put your arm out if you know, have a trip or whatever. So keep a close eye on someone with Parkinson's, especially curbs, going down a step, or, you know, a curb at the roadside, different levels, and even a lump or a bump in the road. You know, sometimes there might be a hole, you know, pothole. Make sure certainly that you don't want your parent going into that, because that will really rock their balance big time. So all of that. Now, the other thing that really helps with someone that has that festinating gait is ask them to stride out. Put stride out, Mum, you know, ask them to bring their foot, longer steps. Now, big steps, Mum, big steps. Now that can actually override the Parkinson's festinating gait quite well, but just keep reminding them because they may well forget, of course. Big steps, mum, come on, big steps. And even if mum hasn't got Parkinson's, still, come on, mum, keep going. We've got another 10, 20 metres to go. I know you can do it. You're not short of breath. You're doing well. Come on, big steps. We're nearly there. You know, the old physio patter, that's how we speak as physios all the time, you know, motivating and encouraging and chatting and all that. And it energizes, you know. It's not like you just go for a walk and say nothing and let mum do her own thing. It's like coaching in a way. And coaching, actually, this coaching style for people with dementia is really helpful because they need that training and encouragement and enthusing and support. Just like in a sports team, you get all that support to be able to win the game and do well. Well, here, they need that encouragement, you know, to be able to not exactly win the game, but manage the game, isn't it? To at least be able to stay in the dementia facility, manage there, and hopefully have a good quality of life. So thank you for that. That's all about, you know, physio techniques in a dementia unit. I've written 2 books here, The Resident's Rise, The Resident's Voice, link below. And thank you so much for your interest, for your viewing, for your likes, your comments. Just started, lovely. And subscribing. Really appreciate it, the subscribing. Thank you.